Hello disciples, welcome back to Stats Cosmos. Hope you all are doing good. Okay, let's start now. In this video, we'll try to learn about the errors that can be made in hypothesis testing. In general, we can have two types of errors, type 1 error and type 2 error. First, we'll define the problems and then we'll see an interesting example. Type 1 error is when you reject a true null hypothesis and is the most serious error. It is also called a false positive. The probability of making this error is alpha, the level of significance. Since you, the researcher, choose the alpha, the responsibility for making this error lies solely on you. Type 2 error is when you accept a false null hypothesis, the probability of making this error is denoted by beta. Beta depends mainly on sample size and population variance. So, if your topic is difficult to test due to hard sampling or has high variability, it is more likely to make this type of error. As you can imagine, if the dataset is hard to test, it is not your fault. So, type 2 error is considered a smaller problem. We should also mention that the probability of rejecting a false null hypothesis is equal to 1 minus beta. This is the researcher's goal to reject a false null hypothesis. Therefore, 1 minus beta is called the power of the test. Generally, researchers increase the power of a test by increasing the sample size. Here, this is the common table statisticians use to summarize the type of errors. Now, let's see an example. Includes find an effect that does exist in weather warning. Forecasters need to make decisions about upcoming weather events. The null hypothesis is that the event will not be life-threatening. The forecaster gets evidence of a life-threatening weather event from the evidence. They decide to reject the null hypothesis and send out a warning saying that it is life-threatening if the event turns out to be severe. The forecaster records correctly. People are grateful for the warning. Lives are saved if the event is not as bad as the forecaster said. The forecaster made a type 1 error. People were warned unnecessarily. Whereas, if suppose instead that the forecaster had decided that the weather event was not bad enough to send a warning about, they may be correct. Or if the forecaster is wrong and the weather event is life-threatening, then they made a type 2 error. They failed to reject the null hypothesis. When they should have, there are cause to both type of error. Generally, it is better to take an error on the side of a type 1 error. In this instance, they send out a warning that turns out to be unneeded. He will get strangely disappointed when bad weather events fail to turn up and may start to ignore warnings in the future or failing to warn of a catastrophic event which can lead to loss of life. This is all about today's video. Hope you all understood the concept. Thank you so much all for watching this video.